Hey y'all, it's your girl Bree.
And it's your girl Tiff.
And this is the Air Bubble.
It's been a minute.
And we finally got it. All right, y'all. So, how y'all doing?
I'm crying.
Hey girl.
So, we're back. I hope you didn't miss us too much. Obviously, you guys know, life be lifing.
We had some unfortunate circumstances that caused us to take a pause on filming for a few weeks. So, please accept our apologies.
Yes, our deepest sorries to you guys. Our deepest sorries. Shout out to our man behind the camera. Unfortunately, he lost his brother. And if you have siblings, you know how hard that could hit you. Mm-hmm. And so we just felt that it was appropriate to allow him to grieve, and also Tiff, because that's part of her extended family. So, we got to put mental health and all that behind work and other hobbies. So
just a quick message, something short and sweet, hug your loved ones, give them a call, tell them you love them, check in on them, make sure everybody's straight, and just be kind, because you never know. So if you have a sibling or your cousin or your parent or your best friend, hug them a little tighter, because life is very short.
Mm-hmm. And there's no date on death, so it can literally happen at any moment, any day, and it really is unexpected.
So thank you for bearing with us. We hope you enjoy this week's episode. We got some juicy topic. I say that in the singular because it is just one, because it's a lot to unpack. Yeah. I'm sure you can tell by the title. So we're excited to get into it.
Yeah, we decided to pop off with something that is fresh in the media right now. Mm-hmm. I know we like to cover trending cases. Even though we've only done that one episode, but it was like 3 cases in one. But so we
like to be up to date.
Yeah, we're kicking it off with this because we have nothing else ready. It's like, this
is important though. I feel like this case is catching national media attention for a reason, and we're going to talk all about our own opinions and everything, but before we get into that, we need to do our little pre-game ritual. Do you have anything that you want to start with?
Honestly, I love my job.
I love that for you.
I know. Ooh, bad timing. No, I really do love my job. There's a couple bitches in there, but when you're young, hot, and turned, them old hoes don't know how to contain that. But it's okay.
I'm crying.
I'm not tripping, because like I said, I'm young, hot, and turned. So I came in there and I'm living my best life. People like me. I have friends. And I feel like I'm adjusting great.
It's wonderful.
I'm sorry.
Girl, please. I don't know if I have anything, to be honest.
Oh, and my apartment is amazing. I realize it's been like a month, right? Kind of.
I feel like it's been longer.
Yeah. Like since we updated. Well, the apartment's great, y'all. I'm doing great.
Thriving.
Yeah. So, what about you?
Honestly, I literally don't even know. I live, eat, breathe, sleep. And I don't get enough of that. Don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a month since I started back at work. I think I've finally adjusted to a routine somewhat. And I think that that's really benefited Haven. But I don't know if I necessarily... Oh! I saw J. Cole in concert just last week, actually. And if you know me, then you know that, like, J. Cole is, like, one of my top 3 favorite artists. And he's always been, like, a dream... That's always been a dream concert for me, to go hear him perform live, because I love him so much. And I love all his older music. I personally don't really listen to a lot of new music. So... But he did perform some of my favorite songs. So that was super fun. And me and Sheldon got to have a little date night. So that's been like
and we a really big highlight. Haven again. And I knocked out with her.
Getting big.
I was knocked out with her. I was supposed to put the baby to sleep. The baby put me to sleep.
I'm crying.
But it's okay. We took a nice, beautiful nap.
So anyway, to transition into our main topic, we were talking about the Lindsay Clancy case, and this is something I've been very, like, I wouldn't say obsessed, because I haven't been consuming that much media on it, but I think it's something that's very eye-catching to me, especially as a mom going through postpartum. And before we get started, I want to clarify, because I think that there is a lot of misconceptions about the definition of postpartum and postpartum depression. Postpartum is the state that you are in after birth. That's the definition. Postpartum. Partum meaning birth, pregnancy. Post meaning after. That is not the same as postpartum depression. So when people are saying, oh, I'm in postpartum, I'm experiencing postpartum, that does not mean that they are experiencing postpartum depression. And I see those two terms being used interchangeably a lot, and it's just not accurate. And especially for the sake of this case, I want to make sure that those definitions are understood. So I think that's very important.
Yeah, I also think it's very important that this is a topic that is coming up right now, because postpartum does not get the acknowledgement it should. It's talking about a lot, even within the community of women. I feel like women also don't take other women serious when they're speaking about postpartum. And I feel like sometimes, we forget that postpartum looks different in everybody, women, obviously. And I just feel like this is a topic that needs to be brought up more, because there is a woman in postpartum every single day. Like, you know someone who is in postpartum.
Yeah.
Whether you know them closely or not, you know a woman who's actively going through postpartum, and she could be experiencing other symptoms. So, because it's so common within our everyday life, it's very concerning how not common of a conversation it is. So, I feel like this case alone will show you why it's important to speak about these things.
Yeah, I think also being a woman who's in postpartum, I think it's definitely brought a different light to it. However, I will say that because I love watching moms on TikTok and Instagram, I love mom content creators, so I feel like I was pretty informed, I would say, to an extent about what postpartum can or can't look like for everybody, because again, it is different. I also have I had some people around me that had recently had children, and I had been fortunate enough to be a part of their postpartum experience and knowing what that means to show up for them. So I kind of knew what to expect to a certain extent. And also just my career experience. I also interned at WIC back when I was in college, which, if you don't know what that means, it's Women, Infant, and Children. It's a program that helps underprivileged women who are experiencing poverty and they have children. And they have a whole like section of their program that specifically talks about postpartum and offers them services. And so that was probably like one of the first few times I actually was made aware of it. I was like only 20, turning 21, and I had heard of postpartum, but I never knew to the extent of like what it actually means, even just like down to like the basic science of like hormone level droppings. And I've heard of the baby blues in passing, but like I remember I heard Kylie Jenner had baby blues, and I was like, what the heck does that mean? And then it wasn't until, you know, I became pregnant that I did more of that research, and, you know, experiencing that, I was like, oh, this is real. That's really real. Like, I'm crying for no reason. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, everything makes me feel like I'm gross. I'm sad, and I don't know why. Like, the sun is setting and I feel funny. Like, is she breathing? I'm anxious. Why am I anxious? I need to shower. Oh, but I need to do this first. Like, all those constant overthinking thoughts. And that first few weeks of postpartum, it was rough. So anyway, I say all that to say that this case, I think, is very important to me, especially for the season of life that I'm in right now. And I think it's important that a lot of people are paying attention to the facts. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of conspiracies out there, which I love, but I think that it's important that we learn from this, because we need to ask ourselves the question, at one point, is like, where do we draw the line between like believing somebody or waiting for something to happen for then consequences to come?
That's the problem.
With a lot of things.
Because they always wait to the last minute. They
wait for something to happen.
They always wait for something to happen to then be like, oh, but such and such, we have this on record. Oh, she claimed this and she claimed that. And it's like, okay. So the signs. Yeah. The signs were in your face. And you did nothing.
Yeah. But let's just give a little bit of background on this case for those people who maybe aren't as familiar or aren't following it. So the central question is, we need to understand the case, and when the act of murder is, since it is undisputed, is she criminally responsible for the murder of her children? That's like the main thing here. That's what she's on trial for, to see if it's not about...
Essentially, they recognize that she is the one that killed them.
Yeah.
But was she medically and mentally sane to understand what she did? Like, was it malice murder, or, you know,
premeditated?
What's it called? I don't want to say premature, but like murder without intent, like not meaning to, but did, you know? So
yeah, so just a little bit of background. Like we were saying, this isn't primarily a trial about who killed the children. The defense acknowledges that Lindsay Clancy killed her 3 children, but the question is, was she legally, criminally responsible for what she did? So that's what makes it very complicated. And you can believe that the 3 children were the victims of this unimaginable, horrific act. Lindsay killed them, and Lindsay was experiencing serious psychiatric problems. And they all still have like 3 separate legal questions about her criminal responsibility. So to give you more background, Lindsay Clancy, I'm gonna just refer to her as Lindsay because I'm not gonna keep saying her name. So Lindsay was a labor and delivery nurse. She was a mother of 3. She was living in Duxbury, Massachusetts, and she had given birth to Callan approximately 8 months before the killing and had been receiving psychiatric treatment before January 24th, 2023, which is the day that she killed her 3 children and attempted suicide. Her husband is Patrick Clancy. He was Lindsay's husband at the time. He is the father of the 3 children. He is the major witness for the prosecution, and he has publicly discussed Lindsay's mental health struggles. The 3 children, I think it's important that we mention them to remember them. And, you know, it makes me so sad. So she had 3 children. Cora, which was their only daughter, she was 5. She was the oldest. Then it was Dawson, he was 3. And their youngest son, Callan, and he was 8 months. So we're thinking about them, we're thinking about their families and everybody who has been affected by this. And we really pray for them and just...
Which, by the way, they're the most important within the whole case.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we're concerned as women for her. But at the end of the day, 3 lives were lost, innocent lives at that.
Taken at the hands of their own mother.
Yeah. And, you know, no kid should ever have to feel like that. But, you know, we pray for them, their souls, and, yeah. Sad, you can't really say much else.
No, seriously, I'm literally at a loss for words. Okay. So, just to give a short timeline, so Patrick leaves, he goes out to complete the errands, including getting medication and food, which was all directed to him by Lindsay. And while Patrick is gone, the prosecution alleges that Lindsay uses that window of time to kill all 3 children. And when Patrick returns, he discovers Lindsay outside after she jumped from a 2nd-story window. And then he goes outside and he finds the children. They were inside the house, and he calls 911. And the aftermath is that Lindsay survives. She suffers catastrophic spinal injury, so she currently is paralyzed. And Callan initially survives, but he later dies due to his injuries. So there's like a big question about the premeditated part of this. So the main question around this section of the case was Patrick being sent out evidence of planning, or can apparently organized behavior coexist with severe psychiatric illness or psychosis? And that's going to get us through the entire episode. So that's something to think about. If you have an opinion, you can leave that in the comments, or just think about it as we go through here. But I think it's also important that we get a bigger picture of everything, and so we learn a little bit more about Lindsay so we can characterize her, and as well as Patrick. So this here, the background is really the defense's argument, because they have a chronological mental health timeline, which is that the childbirth led to anxiety, depression, and intrusive thoughts, which then created the increasing concern, which is why Lindsay sought out multiple clinicians. She had medication changes for her anxiety and depression and her postpartum symptoms. She then had suicidal thoughts, which she did let people know. That's when she attempted to go to McLean Hospital to admit herself, and then she was discharged. And shortly after that was January 24th, which was the murdering of her children, as well as the attempted suicide. So I think it's important to also understand that people can experience unwanted and frightening thoughts while recognizing that all those thoughts are irrational or disturbing. But psychosis generally involves a much more profound disturbance in one's perception of reality.
Right.
And that distinction becomes like the center of the trial, because they're trying to understand if she actually was suffering from postpartum psychosis, or she was just having like not normal, but just intrusive thoughts. Yeah. And the issue was it triggered by postpartum, or was she already like that type of thing? Exactly. And I think the main issue too is that she wasn't diagnosed with postpartum psychosis until after this happened, which again,
go back to our initial point, they always wait for the last minute to actually do that. If I'm telling you I am scared of myself and I'm literally coming to you for help, I need you to do something about what I am thinking about. Why do I feel certain things? I'm not just having a bad day. I'm going out of my way to actively look for help and get someone to diagnose me. Why are you taking any of that for why is any of that doubtful? You know, people don't just walk in every day and hey, I'm sick in the head, diagnose me. People don't just do that. People don't just walk in and just admit themselves.
It takes a lot for somebody to do that, honestly. If it wasn't for this circumstance, I feel like we should also like give her props for seeking the help. And I think that's something that a lot of people automatically overlook because she did kill her children. And I'm not saying that that's right at all. And it's terrible what she did, but there is record of her admitting to her struggles and seeking help.
Whatever.
What?
Because that's not even part of the case, but I really just don't know. Somewhere in me, there's doubt.
About that if she did it? Yeah, no, we can get into that too. But I think just for like the simple facts.
And not because she's a woman.
That's another main issue too, that people think that, oh, if it was a man who killed the kids.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It was like, oh, the comments were like, oh, but if it were the man, it would be like immediately like throw him in jail. And it'd be like, men
can't suffer postpartum.
Exactly. Men don't ever go through life where they have to be chemically rewired again. That is just not a thing for them.
Yeah, and it's not only that, like your identity has completely shifted and changed, and now you're trying to learn what this new life looks like. And in her case, she wasn't going from 0 to 1, she was going from 2 to 3, and her kids were already 3 and 5. She had to relearn how to do that again. And especially, I think it makes it even harder when you've already experienced postpartum 2 times and you were okay. And now you're like, what is wrong with me? I've done this before. Why is this harder? Why am I having these thoughts?
And also
why do I feel that way?
circumstances change. You know, the relationships around you.
Mm-hmm. Your age, the way you handle things, the way you bounce back, the way society expects you to.
Exactly.
Your patience.
Your body literally changes throughout the months, years. I was just telling Tuff the other day, I can't really ride roller coasters anymore. I start feeling weird, and it's like that never happened to me before, you know? I get off a roller coaster now and like I feel like a weird sensation in my feet or like in my hands. I'm like, I did not feel like that before. Because you're getting older, your body is changing, your body is not accustomed to certain things anymore.
Yeah.
So
there's limits.
Right. So then this woman is putting herself like once again through a hard process, which her second
come to death, by the way, is birth.
Her second child was already 3, which means she wasn't completely out of that postpartum yet, but she was.
Yeah, because they say it takes 3 years for your body to completely heal. So then she reopened that wound because even then, like the kid's already 3. So who knows when she actually got pregnant? I don't know when their birthdays are. Could have been like 2.5.
Exactly. So
she was at the tail end, essentially.
Yeah. So that's a lot of things to keep, in mind. Like I said, I don't defend her. There are doubts though. There are doubts, yeah.
I think also something that
I'm not gonna sit here and 100% be like, yeah, she did it.
Yeah, it is. I have a lot of speculation, and I do believe some of these conspiracies, but the point I wanted to make earlier too was there's also an expectation around a mom who's done it more than one time that she can handle certain things.
And that's not fair.
It's not. And so people aren't necessarily going to check in as much. They don't really celebrate a second or third pregnancy all the time. They're like, okay, again, like, good job. Like, you already did it. It's not new. It's not fresh. It's not your first time. It doesn't matter. So I think that also plays into it. And that's something that I think that a lot of people will overlook unless you've been in that.
It's like, oh, 3rd child?
Yikes.
Okay.
Are you done?
Like, okay.
Are you going to tie your tubes yet?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Another one? Okay, cool.
You want a baby shower? No, let's just sprinkle that baby.
Right. Like, what do you mean? You don't have any other leftover things from the last 2? Like, the more kids you have, the more hand-me-downs people want to give you. No. It's a baby. It's a new person.
Listen, I ain't gonna knock it. I love me some hand-me-downs.
Oh, I do too.
But I do agree.
I feel like for a baby though, a baby deserves new things.
Yeah, I think I agree even to a certain extent. Like, Haven has so many new things, but also I did accept hand-me-downs because it's like 2 things can exist at the same time.
Of course.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't mean that in like close aspects though. Like some people will use like the same like strollers and stuff, and it's like
Like, if you want the new one, you deserve a new one.
Yeah. But I don't know. We're getting off topic.
I know.
Personally, I'm a big advocate for mental health, and not just for women. I also advocate for men's mental health as well. So this is not in any way biased. I do believe, though, that women are heavily understudied in the postpartum aspect. I think even with other women, I feel other women do not give other women enough grace because they've been through it and it's something that they didn't go through, or they just had a good support system and they didn't allow them to get there, you know? I was just talking to a coworker today about postpartum. I don't even know how I got into that topic, but it's so funny. And she was telling me how, like, she did not experience, like, a bad postpartum, but she noticed that it was because she had a good husband. Who...
That makes a difference.
Well, not had, but has. She has a good husband that, you know, takes care of her and, like, puts her first, you know? And then she just had a good support system, like, beyond that, too. And she's like, you know, thankfully she's never had to experience a postpartum where she is, you know, struggling mentally. We can't say that that is what happens with every woman, because not every woman has a good husband or a good partner. A lot of men be deadbeats, okay? They be deadbeats and they don't do their part. That could fail a woman mentally.
Oh, yeah.
And then being alone, that's even worse. Circumstances are different, and I feel like not enough women support other women. And I think we said this in a conversation before, the conversation starts with women first. Because if we're not correctly educated on what our peers are going through, how are we properly supposed to acknowledge these things when they're in our face, right? So if this woman showed up and she said, hey, I'm sick. She showed up to the hospital. She told them, listen, I am not okay. Someone needs to check me.
I haven't slept.
Like, I'm having intrusive thoughts. I'm having all these things going on in my head. I'm hearing voices. I'm thinking about some terrible things. The women on clock should have been like, I believe her, you know? But because of a lot of people don't go through that, and I'm not saying that, you know, well, they should actually. Medical staff should be on top of things like that. I don't know personally. If another woman comes in saying that should automatically be a red flag for you. Like, unless you have, you know, history of mental health and, like, before having children, then that's different. But also, a woman who's freshly in postpartum, she only had her baby 8 months before this even happened. That girl's fresh. That wound is still fresh. And she's telling you she is struggling. That should have raised flags.
She had been, even before the 8 months.
And that should have raised flags.
I think anytime anybody says, oh, I'm thinking of hurting myself and hurting others, your immediate response should be to help, especially when you're in this field and, like, you're literally, she's coming to you vulnerable to the hospital, trying to seek help, trying to get better.
Yeah.
She knows that these thoughts aren't truthful. Yeah, you're very depressed, but you don't have psychosis. That's not it. And now that's just, like, another defeat. And, like, on the topic,
and it's like, what do I have to do in order for you to understand that?
Think about how many women, like, get overlooked for ovarian cancer, breast cancer, like, cysts, PCOS, endometriosis, like, heavy periods, you know, like hormonal acne, like it always takes a second, third, fourth opinion, and it's even by other women. Even in this case, the emergency room nurse or doctor, I'm sorry, that saw her, she goes on the stand and she completely dismisses everything that's in the case. Not only does she not have the respect to review what was said or what she diagnosed her with, but her whole demeanor, that was a whole other just topic of discussion, because the doctor essentially was like, well, if that's what's on the record, then that's what happened. And they kept questioning her, like, is this what happened? Is this correct? On this day, did this happen? Did you say this? And she's like, I don't remember. That was over 3 years ago. And they're like, okay, but your client or your patient here is on trial for murder, and you didn't think it was necessary to review her file? What does that show you? Negligence.
Yeah.
What do you think she's doing at her job?
Right.
Another main argument too about the hospital was that they didn't have the full picture of her previous history with mental illness. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that. Because like they didn't have like the entire understanding of what her mental health background looked like. They didn't know that she necessarily had called a suicide hotline prevention hotline prior, or that she was having these like psychotic breakdowns. And in that moment, the defense is also debating, right, that in that moment, you're not necessarily going to display all your symptoms for them to evaluate you and say that, okay, no, you have psychosis. They evaluated her there and immediately they were like, okay, yeah, you're depressed. That's it. So the defense argues that the symptoms can fluctuate and a patient doesn't have all the symptoms while they're being evaluated, and they can only evaluate the information that is available to them. So a main question that everybody's asking, and I think we all know the answer to, is, did the mental health system fail Lindsay? Or did clinicians reasonably diagnose the symptoms she actually presented?
Right. This is a totally different topic, but it's just like something that when a child has autism, right? You analyze that child in multiple settings to be able to even correctly diagnose them with autism. You just don't look at a child and just because he doesn't speak or at 1 or 2 years old, he's autistic. No. You sit that child in different environments, in different settings, in different circumstances, studies, all that stuff, to properly be like, yes, this child has autism. And they should have did that with her. They should have sat her down and they should have analyzed her every move after saying something like that, you know? I'm not mentally well. Okay, we have to put you under evaluation then, and we have to properly seek whether or not you fit the criteria. Perfect. But it was the act of just, no, you're just depressed, but you're not crazy. You're good. That's crazy. Like I said, no one voluntarily walks into a hospital and says, hey, I'm insane. It just doesn't happen. Like, it just doesn't. No, that girl was literally crying for help. It was a scream for help and nobody listened to her. They literally waited for her to kill her children to eventually be like, oh, she was medically unwell. That's not fair. Three kids are already dead. Too late.
And she's paralyzed now.
Paralyzed.
Her life is completely changed for forever. She has so much scars and trauma.
Oh, that brain is altered, babe. That brain is altered. Again, she was 8 months into postpartum. The rewiring that whole thing did to her, that's not even the same person anymore. Like, whoever she was while being a mom to any of her kids, that's not the same person anymore. Like, that is a whole different person. And I think that's sad.
It's heartbreaking, honestly. And then Patrick is just a whole different story. The internet does not fuck with him. I don't fuck with him.
I was telling Tiff the other day, I forget the name, but it was like the American, it was like the
Psycho.
American murder story or something like that.
American Murderer, The Family Next Door.
Yes, The Family Next Door.
Chris Watts.
With Chris Watts, and what was her name again? That's sad, they don't. Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon.
Shannon, where he had a girlfriend on the side, right? And his wife, he had 2 daughters with her, and she was currently pregnant with their only son. And he was essentially cheating on her. And, you know, he told this girl that basically he made it out to be single. The woman ended up finding out or something like that, right? But even before that, he was playing it off like, I think he said that she was dead, that he had lost his wife or something like that. I'm pretty sure he had said that.
Honestly.
I'm pretty sure, unless I'm confusing cases. I listen to a lot of cases, I'm sorry. But I think essentially he did try to make it seem like he had lost somebody or something. Or that...
That's not the point anyway.
No, yeah. But like, he ended up, you know, murdering them because he wanted to dip off to be with his side piece. And...
He killed the 2 girls and his wife.
Right. And their unborn baby, because he died.
Yeah. And he tried to say that she like disappeared or some shit.
Yeah. He's like, oh, she's missing, and like made a whole show, everything. Made a whole show, everything. Psychotic. But I just want to say that Patrick, in this case, it was said that he, while she was being medically induced and being looked at and she was going through treatment, he was on a ski trip. He went off and
you're saying in this case, right?
Yeah. He dipped off to be on a ski trip, and now is newly married, has a whole different wife.
3 months. 3 months after the
3 months after
murdering of his 3 children at the hands of his wife. 3 months, marries or gets involved with a new woman, and now they have a baby on the way. First of all, in what world are you getting with a man that his 3 children were just fucking murdered?
I'm not doing it.
That, you are not healed. And that's so much, like, for lack of a better word, drama. I don't need that. I'm sorry, like, baby, you need help.
Yeah.
Your wife just killed your children. Whether you loved her or you didn't, whether you were separated or in the process of getting a divorce, regardless, your children were murdered. How do you just, like, nothing?
Right. And then there was like speculation that she helped him through it.
The new girlfriend or the wife.
Yeah, because she's in the medical field. Mm-hmm. So she knew how to make certain things look like an accident, or how to make certain things look medically accurate. So I don't know. Yo, listen, bitches be crazy. Bitches be crazy, bro. Like, you really never know.
I saw somebody on TikTok in the comments say there's nothing scarier than a man that wants a new life.
Yeah.
That literally just shook me to my core, like, still hearing about it.
And it's just the action of taking her Apple Watch.
Yeah, explain that. I don't think, because we didn't really talk about that a little bit.
So apparently he took her Apple Watch from her,
I don't think
Lindsay.
I think that's just speculation, but
was that not brought up in court?
I don't remember.
Well, no, probably not, because it's not about him. There's speculation, or word that he took her Apple Watch and he went to go run errands, And within the time that, you know, he ran errands, he called her, and they spoke on the they spoke on the phone, and just, you know, to confirm things that he had to get. And being that he had her Apple Watch, though, it is a clear motive of an alibi, because then it's like, oh well, check my
call log?
my IP, no, like that, even like the IP address.
Well,
like,
I don't think that they knew that he took the Apple Watch. I think people are saying that her Apple Watch that she normally wears had extra movement. So people are speculating that he took the Apple Watch to call her on the Apple Watch, on her Apple Watch, so that way he could answer and it looked like that they talked on the phone.
right, which is, yeah.
But like, they're not in the court, they don't know that he did that. That's just what people are saying.
But they're not bringing that up in court regardless.
Yeah,
though,
no.
because it's not a trial about him. This is just like a side conspiracy.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, so you took it to give yourself an alibi, so essentially he's clean, because like he wasn't even there when it happened, you know. And who's to say that he didn't do all those things and then left?
That's what people are saying too, because there's even video footage of him walking in and out of CVS. And his shoes are swapped, which is really weird. And the fact that her body temperature when they took it, when she was outside, she was suffering from hypothermia. Her body temperature was 82 degrees. And they are saying that that is just not physically possible within that time period, even in the snow, for her body temperature to drop that low from 98 degrees.
Which means she was out there for much longer than what is being recorded. But of course, we will never know that, because there's only three truths: his, hers, and the real truth.
Yeah.
And we'll never actually get that. So her word is not credible, and neither is his. So, like, unless we had hardcore like house surveillance,
Which I think is also interesting. I feel like most homes have like Ring cameras, and like, how come
Right.
like they didn't look at the street cameras? I don't know. It also, just like we were talking about this earlier, but like his automatic assumption that, oh, she killed the effing kids. It's not even like, oh, did somebody break in here? Like, my children are injured, or like my wife is not well. Like, it was the automatic assumption that he knew that she did something. So then if you were so worried about her doing something, why would you leave him?
mind you, she was found
Leave her with
outside.
them.
She was found outside when he got there.
Right, out
She was
the window,
outside.
yeah.
She's out the window. He don't know she was out the window though. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
How do we know she went out the window? She was paralyzed. She couldn't speak.
Well, she was found at the bottom, so they were saying that.
I know, but like, who's to say though? There's no cameras.
Maybe the result of her injuries, because they said that she was
Well, yeah, she
hanging.
had catastrophic spinal.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
The crushing of the pills is weird. Why would she do that?
And like I was telling,
her thyroid was crushed.
and like I was telling Tiff, well, when we were first discussing this case, if she was mentally not okay the way, you know, we're describing it, or the way that it's being told to us, she would have just did it. You know, she did whatever she did to the kids, but she would have immediately took care of herself. You know, I feel like there was a lot of effort put in to making sure that she was like essentially taken out. Someone who was really desperate to like not be here anymore will do that. People that have committed suicide in the past, I don't want to be insensitive, but how many tries did it take them?
Yeah.
It's usually the first time and it's it. Right? And
Or,
she
like,
was
not, like,
already
3 times in one sitting.
Exactly. And she was already mentally not okay, which means she should have been out on the first try. There was too much effort put into killing her. I don't know, to me that just doesn't, it's not accurate. It just doesn't match.
Yeah, it's really odd.
I don't know, it's weird. But I personally think though that she needs to be evaluated mentally before she can be given a sentence. And I mean, I don't know what she's like now. None of us do.
That's what I was about to say.
Like, excuse me, none of us know exactly how she is right now. But I can only imagine something like that will fuck you up. Like, I can only imagine, you know? And not properly healing from postpartum, going through something like that could potentially cause more damage than what is already being done. So I think,
I mean, she's showing remorse too, so we realize she has some sort of guilt.
Right. But she also doesn't remember that she did this. So it's like,
because she was heavily medicated.
It's a lot. I sympathize for her. I don't not blame her, but I also blame a whole lot of other people, especially the medical field. They failed her tremendously. Like, they failed her so bad. I feel for her. I feel for her because had she been listened to, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, like, at what point is it enough? Like, there's literal documentation of doctor's visits, of prescription changes. There's her words in journals declaring that she is not well. She's saying, I'm drowning, I haven't slept in days, I feel crazy, I am crazy. The doctors say to let the baby cry it out, I can't do that, that feels like abuse. So how can somebody that's saying, back to the speculation, how can somebody that says that letting a baby cry it out is abuse, how can they kill their kids? Weird. But hey, I don't know. But again, like, these are her words in these journals. She's openly admitting and writing these feelings down. She's doing the proper steps. She's seeking medical attention. She's trying actual medication. She's going through some sort of therapy with herself, journaling, trying to understand her thoughts, put it on paper. And still, she's not believed until she does this crazy act.
And now it's, oh, she's crazy, da da da. She
still
killed her kids. She killed her kids. Oh, if it was a man, da da da. You try going through postpartum and then get back to me.
And like, she literally talks about not being able to sleep for 2 days straight because Callan was a colic crying baby. I mean, I don't know if he's actually colic, but he just would cry and cry. And babies cry, right? There's this thing called purple crying where they cry for no reason for hours. And he wouldn't stop crying. That will literally drive you insane. Mm-hmm. I don't care how much you love the kid, right? And they say that it's healthy for a mom. Sit the baby down and walk away. Personally, I know myself, I can't do that. I try to soothe as much as I can, but there's an extent where I'm like, babe, take the baby, or Bree, take the baby, somebody take the baby. And even then, like, giving the baby up, that also takes a big mental courage, I guess, because then, like, you're accepting the fact that you can't soothe them, and as a mother, that's your job. That's another mental battle that people aren't thinking about. Mm-hmm. She's fighting all these battles, like, between, like, insanity, the mom guilt, trying to process her postpartum, trying to understand her baby, trying to understand why this third kid is so different. Why is your experience different? Who knows what her marriage was looking like? Clearly, he had to have been in another relationship to fucking get married or whatever 3 months later.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God damn.
We could just go on forever about this, but yeah. I really want this case to be, well, I mean, it's not over. They're only like 9 days into it, so we can keep talking about it if you guys enjoyed this.
Keep giving you guys parts on it.
Yeah. I think it's something that's important and that needs to be talked about.
I really don't want to see her just being thrown in jail and then like forgotten about. I really do think she needs to be evaluated. I think she deserves it. Because at the end of the day,
Deserves what, jail?
No, she deserves to be looked at.
Yes.
At the end of the day, she did lose her children, and whether or not she was the one that took their life, she still grieves that. At the end of the day, she still popped them out. That's still a heavy toll, and it's still a heavy loss for her, whether she did it or not. I can't even imagine like the internal like beating herself up that she does, like, you know, that internal battle, like.
Yeah, no, I don't want to know what that feels like, honestly. As a mom, as a woman, you already go through so many like mental battles, trying to feel like you need to show up to be a good mom and a good coworker and a good daughter and a good sister and a good friend and all these things, and now to add this onto it it's beyond heartbreaking. It's beyond sad. I think there's not even a word to describe it, truthfully.
Yeah. But we will leave you guys with that.
Let us know.
Let us know what you think. Let us know if you guys are keeping up with it. We'd like to know what you guys think. As a woman, be nicer to other women. Like, listen, you never know when it would be you. Like, God forbid anything like this ever happens to anybody, right? Mm-hmm. But you never know. It could be you.
It could be really, somebody you know.
Yeah.
Very close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Show up for people.
Show up for them, especially your pregnant friends, your friends going through postpartum. Like,
it's a vulnerable time, man.
Mm-hmm.
The identity shift alone is heavy, bro.
Relearning themselves, everything. So, yeah. Hopefully that was insightful, and we didn't go in circles.
I think that was pretty good. I don't know, but also I just like hearing myself talk. So that was pretty heavy, though. I'm not gonna lie, very different than what we normally are doing.
But we did tell you guys we were going to keep it heavy, real, raw, and uncut. Ooh,
that's Sheldon's favorite phrase.
You like that?
But it's actually in his bio for Vibe Check.
Yuck.
Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know your thoughts, opinions, your hot takes, if you agree with us. And if you're keeping up with the trial, come join back in with us.
Yeah, so good night, guys. We'll see you guys next week. We're so happy to be back.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys are happy to have us back. See you guys next week. Love you guys. Be safe. Have fun. Live, laugh, love. Everything.
With love.
With love. Your girl, Bree.
And your girl, Tiff.